The pink confetti cannon exploded over my head, and I felt something inside me explode too. My name is Mary, and I'm 38 years old. I'm a lawyer. I own my condo outright. I've never missed a payment on anything in my life. And standing there in my sister's backyard, covered in glitter that screamed, "It's a girl," I realized I'd been paying for her happiness with my dignity for years. "Speech! Speech!" someone shouted. Ciara stood on the deck, one hand on her swollen belly, the other clutching Ross's arm. She looked radiant in that effortless way she'd always had, the kind that made our mother beam and strangers stop to compliment her. Her white maternity dress probably cost more than most people's car payments. "I just want to thank everyone for being here," Ciara said, her voice carrying that practiced sweetness she used for Instagram videos. "This baby girl is so loved already. We're so blessed to have family who supports us." Her eyes swept past me like I was part of the landscaping. I clapped along with everyone else, smiled, played my role. After the speech, I found Kira by the dessert table, loading her plate with custom macarons that matched the color scheme. "Hey," I said, "congratulations again. The party is beautiful." "Thanks. Ross's mom helped with the planning. She has such good taste." Kira bit into a macaron, pink cream filling her lips. "Did you try the cake? It's from that bakery downtown, the one that does celebrity weddings." "Not yet." I reached into my purse and pulled out the envelope. "This is for you." "For the nursery." Ciara's eyes lit up, the first genuine emotion I'd seen from her all day. She tore it open right there, not even bothering to step away from the crowd. $5,000? She looked up at me, and for a split second, I thought I saw gratitude. "Mary, this is—" "I wanted to help. You mentioned the crib you liked was expensive, and this is perfect." Ciara waved the check at Ross, who was manning the grill. "Babe, look what Mary gave us." Ross jogged over, spatula still in hand. He glanced at the check and whistled. "Wow, that's generous, Mary. Well, I'm going to be an aunt. I want her to have everything she needs." Kira tucked the check into her bra, actually into her bra, and laughed. "See, Ross? I told you Mary would come through. She always does." Something in her tone made my spine straighten. "At least you're useful for something," Ciara continued, loud enough that the nearby conversation started to quiet. "Since you'll probably die alone while we're over here building a real family." The words hit like a slap. Ross choked on his beer. "Ciara, come on." "What?" "I'm joking." She laughed, touching my arm with sticky fingers. "Mary knows I'm kidding. She knows I love her. Right, sis?" Everyone was looking at us now. My mother stood by the punch bowl, her expression carefully neutral. Aunt Helen's eyes were wide. Cousin Sierra had her phone out, probably recording for TikTok. I smiled. It felt like my face might crack. "Right," I said. "Of course." "See?" Ciara turned back to the crowd, crisis averted in her mind. "Mary's the best. She co-signed our mortgage. She's always helping out. What would we do without her? Treat me like a person, maybe. Not an ATM with a pulse." But I didn't say that. I excused myself to the bathroom and locked the door behind me. Stared at myself in the mirror, the same mirror Kira had probably used for 100 selfies. My reflection looked tired, older than 38, like I'd been carrying something heavy for too long. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to a contact I'd saved months ago but never called. Samir, my colleague's divorce attorney, the one who specialized in messy separations. My finger hovered over his name. Through the bathroom door, I could hear Tira laughing, the sound of champagne glasses clinking. Someone started a chant. "Speech from the aunt! Speech from Aunt Mary!" I pressed call. He answered on the second ring. "Samir speaking. Hi, this is Mary Knight. We met at the Bar Association dinner last spring. You gave me your card. I remember. What can I do for you?" I took a breath. Let it out slowly. "Initiate the partition action," I said. "Let's see who really owns this dream." Samir's office smelled like leather and old books, the kind of place where serious decisions got made. "Walk me through it from the beginning," he said, sliding a legal pad across his desk. "When did you co-sign?" 2 years ago, March. I could still remember the restaurant where they'd asked. Sierra had cried. Ross had called me the best sister anyone could ask for. They couldn't qualify on their own. Ross's credit was trashed from some business thing, and Kiara's income was inconsistent. Inconsistent how? She calls herself a lifestyle influencer. Some months she makes decent money. Most months, not so much. Samir wrote something down. And the agreement was? They'd refinance within 18 months to get my name off the mortgage. I'd be released from all liability. I pulled out my phone and showed him the text thread. Ross promised, multiple times. He scrolled through the messages, his expression unchanging. "Did you get this in writing? Legally binding?" "No. They're family. I trusted them." "That's what everyone says." He handed back my phone. "Mary, partition actions are nuclear. You're essentially forcing the sale of the property. Your sister just announced she's having a baby. The optics, I know how it looks." "Do you?" "Because judges are human. Juries are human. If this goes to court, you'll be the villain in every headline." I met his eyes. "I've been the villain in my family for years. Just for existing. For not being married. For not giving my mother grandchildren. For being successful on my own terms." My voice stayed level. "At least this time, I'll have something to show for it." Samir studied me for a long moment. "All right. I'll need copies of all mortgage documents, correspondence, payment records. Everything. I'll send them tonight. One more thing." He leaned back in his chair. "Are you prepared for what comes next? This won't be clean. This won't be quiet." "Good," I said. "I'm done being quiet." That night, Jake came over with Thai food and wine. He'd been doing that a lot lately, showing up when I needed him without me having to ask. "You actually did it," he said, unpacking containers on my kitchen counter. "You called the lawyer." "I did." "How do you feel?" "Like I'm about to jump off a cliff." I poured 2 glasses of wine. "Or push someone else off. I haven't decided which." Jake took his glass and clinked it against mine. "For what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing. My mother doesn't. She called me 4 times today." I didn't answer. "Smart. She left voicemails. Want to hear?" I pulled up my phone and hit play on speaker. My mother's voice filled the kitchen, sharp and accusing. "Mary Elizabeth Knight, I don't know what's gotten into you, but you need to call your sister and apologize. She's pregnant. She's hormonal. You're being selfish and vindictive, and frankly, I'm ashamed." Jake winced. "Ouch." "There's more." I skipped to the next message. "This is about jealousy, isn't it? You can't stand seeing Kiara happy. You can't stand that she has a husband and a baby on the way while you're alone in that sterile condo with your career. Well, congratulations, Mary. You're proving everyone right about you." I turned off the phone and took a long drink of wine. "She's wrong," Jake said quietly. "You know that, right?" "Do I?" "You're not alone. You're not sterile. And you're definitely not jealous." He moved closer. "You're hurt. There's a difference." I wanted to believe him, but my mother's words had teeth, and they'd sunk deep. My phone buzzed. A text from Aunt Helen. "Can we talk? Not taking sides. Just want to understand." Then another from Ciara. "Mom says you're trying to take our house. What is wrong with you?" And another from Ross. "We can work this out. Don't do something you'll regret." "They're circling the wagons," I said. Jake read over my shoulder. "Let them circle. You've got the high ground here." "Do I?" I opened my laptop and pulled up the mortgage account. Something I'd been avoiding for weeks. "I've been making half the payments for 2 years, Jake. They promised to refinance. They promised—" I stopped. The screen showed a refinance had been completed 4 months ago. What is it? Jake asked. I clicked through the documents, my heart pounding. New loan, better interest rate. My name still on the title, but not on the new mortgage. They refinanced without telling me, I said. They used my credit to get approved, then cut me out of the new loan. Jake leaned in. Can they do that? They just did. I scrolled further, and they pulled out equity, $40,000. For what? I thought about Ross's new Tesla, Kira's designer maternity wardrobe, the gender reveal party that probably cost more than most weddings. For their perfect life, I said, built on my credit, my trust, my stupidity. Jake's hand found mine. Not stupidity. Love. You loved your sister. Past tense? You tell me. I looked at the screen, at the numbers, at the proof of their betrayal in black and white. Samir asked if I wanted to go nuclear. I said, I think I just found my missile. Samir called it fraud. I called it exactly what I expected. They forged your signature on the refinance consent forms, he said, spreading the documents across his desk. See here? That's not your handwriting. I stared at the signature. It was close. Ciara had always been good at mimicking me. My handwriting, my voice on the phone to get out of trouble, my entire personality when it suited her. What does this mean legally? It means we have them. Fraud, breach of contract, identity theft if we want to push it. Samir tapped his pen against the paper. The question is how far you want to take this. All the way. Mary, listen to me. If we pursue fraud charges, Ross could face criminal penalties. Your sister could be implicated. With a newborn, they should have thought about that before they stole from me. My phone buzzed. I flipped it over. The family group chat was exploding. Mom. Mary, we need to talk about this like adults. Family doesn't sue family. Ciara. I can't believe you're doing this while I'm pregnant. Do you want me to lose the baby from stress? Ross. We made a mistake with the paperwork. It was an oversight. We can fix this. Ciara. An oversight she's turning into a lawsuit. She's trying to make us homeless. Mom. Mary, answer your phone. This is ridiculous. I turned the phone face down. They're saying it was an oversight, I said. Samir raised an eyebrow. An oversight that put $40,000 in their bank account? Where did the money go? Can we trace it? He pulled up another document. Based on their bank records, which we obtained through discovery, $25,000 went to a Tesla Model 3, $10,000 to various luxury purchases. The rest is gone. Restaurants, shopping, that party you mentioned. So they have nothing. They have a car they can't afford to insure and a house they're about to lose. My phone rang. Aunt Helen. I answered. Mary, sweetheart, what's going on? Did Mom send you to talk sense into me? No. I'm calling because I want to hear your side without Denise breathing down my neck. Helen's voice was gentle. Talk to me. I told her everything. The co-signing, the promises, the refinance, the forged signature, silence on the other end. Helen, I'm here. I'm just processing. She sighed. Mary, I love Kara. She's my niece, but she's been spoiled rotten since the day she was born, and your mother enabled every bit of it. So you think I'm doing the right thing? I think you're doing the only thing you can do. They backed you into a corner. She paused. But be prepared. Denise won't see it that way. Neither will Ciara. You're going to lose people over this. I've already lost them. I just didn't know it yet. The next morning, Kira's Instagram post went viral. A photo of her cradling her belly, tears streaming down her face. The caption: When family cares more about money than blood. When your own sister tries to take your home while you're about to give birth. I never thought I'd experience this kind of betrayal. Please keep us in your prayers. Comments flooded in, thousands of them. Your sister is a monster. How can someone be so heartless? This is why I don't trust family with money. Sue her for emotional distress. My phone started ringing. Unknown numbers, a reporter from some online magazine, another from a local news station. Jake found me on my couch, staring at my phone. Don't read the comments, he said. Too late. They don't know the full story. They don't care about the full story. Pregnant woman equals victim. Successful single woman equals villain. I threw my phone across the room. It bounced off a cushion. She's good. I'll give her that. Let Samir handle the PR. There is no handling this. She's got 50,000 followers who think I'm Satan. Jake sat beside me. Do you want to stop? No. Do you want to tell your side? And say what? Actually, my sister forged my signature and stole 40 grand? They'll just say I'm lying, or that I should forgive her because family. So what do you want to do? I picked up my phone and called Samir. I saw the post, he said before I could speak. Can we accelerate the timeline? We can. But Mary, if we push harder, they'll push back harder. Ross is already talking about countersuing for emotional damages. On what grounds? Does it matter? It'll tie us up in court for months, cost you more in legal fees, drag this out until after the baby's born and I look even worse. Exactly. I looked at Jake. He nodded. Do it anyway, I said. File everything, fraud charges included. I want them to understand what they've done. You're sure? They stole from me, lied to me, and now they're trying to destroy my reputation. Yeah, Samir, I'm sure. All right. I'll have the papers ready by tomorrow. He paused. Mary, once we do this, there's no going back. Good, I said. I'm done going back. The process server delivered the papers on a Tuesday morning. Ciara was 3 days from her due date. My mother called within the hour. Emergency family dinner. Tonight, my house. You will be there. Mom, I don't care what you think. You will be there, or you're no longer my daughter. She hung up. Jake offered to come with me. I told him no. This was something I had to face alone. Everyone was already there when I arrived. Mom, Kiara, Ross, Aunt Helen, and surprisingly, my 17-year-old cousin, Sierra. Ciara sat on the couch, her hand on her massive belly, looking like a Renaissance painting of suffering. Ross stood behind her, his hand on her shoulder, protective, united. Sit down, Mary, Mom said. I remained standing. Fine. Stand. Mom crossed her arms. Do you want to explain what you're doing to your pregnant sister? I'm enforcing a legal agreement. You're trying to make us homeless. Kiara's voice cracked. I could go into labor any day, and you're threatening to take our house. The house I co-signed for. The house you promised to refinance me off of. The house you used to steal $40,000. Ross stepped forward. We didn't steal anything. That was equity. We had a right to access it. Not without my consent. Not by forging my signature. Forging? Mom's voice went shrill. Now you're accusing them of forgery? Mary, do you hear yourself? I have the documents. Samir has the handwriting analysis. They committed fraud. It was a mistake. Ciara struggled to stand. Ross helped her up. The mortgage company sent the wrong forms. We thought you'd already signed. It was an honest mistake. An honest mistake that bought Ross a Tesla? The room went quiet. You bought a Tesla? Mom turned to Ross. It's for work, he said quickly. I need reliable transportation for client meetings. What clients? I asked. You work from home doing IT consulting. You've worked from home for 3 years. That's not... You don't know what I know you spent $25,000 of money you stole from me on a car you didn't need. Ciara started crying, big heaving sobs. See what she's doing? She's attacking Ross now. She's trying to destroy our marriage because she doesn't have one. Shara, that's enough, Aunt Helen said quietly. No, it's not enough, Kira pointed at me. She's been jealous of me our entire lives. Jealous that I'm pretty. Jealous that I found love. Jealous that I'm having a baby. And now she's using some technicality to punish us for being happy. Technicality? I kept my voice level. You forged my signature. You violated our agreement. You've been making me pay half a mortgage on a house I don't live in while you spend money you don't have. We were going to pay you back. When? After you spent it all on Instagram photo shoots and designer baby clothes? Sierra laughed. Actually laughed. Everyone turned to look at her. Sorry, she said, not sounding sorry at all. It's just funny. Sierra posts about her blessed life and manifesting abundance when Aunt Mary is literally funding it. Sierra, stay out of this, Mom snapped. Why? Everyone else gets to talk. Sierra looked at me. I think Aunt Mary is right. Kiara's been using her for years. I have not. You literally called her your emergency bank last Christmas. I was there. Kiara's face flushed. I was joking. Like you were joking at the gender reveal when you said she'd die alone? Sierra pulled out her phone. Because I have that on video. Want me to post it? Show your followers what you really think of family? You wouldn't dare. Sierra shrugged. Try me. Enough. Mom slammed her hand on the table. This family is falling apart, and it's your fault, Mary. All of this is your fault. If you'd just been supportive instead of vindictive. I've been supportive for 38 years. I'm done. So you're going to throw away your family over money? No. They threw me away. I'm just making it official. Ross moved toward me. Mary, please. We made mistakes. We'll fix them. Just drop the lawsuit. We'll work something out. There's nothing to work out. The house goes up for sale. You find somewhere else to live. I get my money back. We don't have your money, Kiara screamed. It's gone. We spent it. Are you happy now? The room went silent again. You spent $40,000 in 4 months? Aunt Helen asked. Kiara's tears were real now. Panicked. We had expenses. The baby, the house, things you wouldn't understand. Try me, I said. We had to keep up appearances. For my brand, for sponsorships. She was hyperventilating. If people think we're struggling, we lose everything. You already lost everything, I said. You just don't know it yet. I walked toward the door. Ross followed me outside. Mary, wait. I turned. You don't have to do this, he said. We made a mistake. Please, don't punish the baby. I'm not punishing the baby. I'm holding you accountable. There's a difference. She could go into labor from the stress. If something happens, then you'll deal with it. Like adults. Like parents. I opened my car door. You should have thought about your baby before you stole from me. I drove away and didn't look back. My phone buzzed with a voicemail from Mom. You got what you wanted. Happy now? I wasn't. But I was done pretending that mattered. Sierra sent me the photos at midnight. Screenshots of Kira's private Instagram stories. The ones only her close friends could see. The ones she thought were safe. Professional maternity photos on a beach at sunset. Ciara in a flowing gown that probably cost more than my monthly car payment. Hair and makeup by artists whose handles were tagged. Location, Malibu. The shoot I'd paid for, with the $5,000 check meant for the nursery. Thought you should see where your money went, Sierra's text said. She posted these the day after the gender reveal, before she took them down. I forwarded everything to Samir. His response came immediately. This is good. Really good. Judges don't like liars. Kira went into labor 2 days later. 36 hours of it, according to the family group chat I was still somehow part of. Mom, Kira's in active labor. Pray for her. Aunt Helen, sending love and strength. Ross, it's been 20 hours. They're talking about a C-section. Mom, this stress isn't helping. This situation isn't helping. I didn't respond. I turned off my notifications and went to work. Jake found me in my office at lunch, staring at my computer screen without seeing it. She had the baby, he said gently. Helen texted me. A girl. 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Everyone's healthy. Good. Mary, I mean it. I'm glad they're healthy. I'm not a monster. I never said you were. Everyone else is. I pulled up my email. Another message from a stranger who'd found my work address. The subject line, baby killer. I deleted it without reading. I've gotten 43 emails like this today. People telling me I'm evil, that I'm destroying an innocent child's life. They don't know the truth. The truth doesn't matter. Ciara's the pretty one with the baby. I'm the bitter career woman with the lawsuit. I closed my laptop. I'm the villain in this story no matter what I do. Jake sat on the edge of my desk. Do you want to stop? Everyone keeps asking me that. Because we're worried about you. Don't be. I'm fine. You're not sleeping. You're barely eating. I'm finishing what they started. I stood up. They made me the villain? Fine. I'll be the villain. At least villains get things done. Aunt Helen called that evening. I almost didn't answer. I'm not here to lecture you, she said. I'm here to tell you something your mother won't. What? Your father would be proud of you. I hadn't expected that. My throat tightened. Dad would hate this. He always said family was everything. He also said that respect goes both ways, that love without boundaries is just enabling. Helen's voice was soft. He told me once, near the end, that he worried about you, that Denise babied Ciara too much, that you'd spend your whole life taking care of everyone else and forget to take care of yourself. He said that. He made me promise to look out for you, to remind you that cutting ties doesn't mean guilt. Sometimes it means survival. I sat down on my couch, my vision blurring. I miss him, I whispered. I know, sweetheart, but he's not here. And the people who are here, they're using you. They've been using you, and you're finally doing something about it. It doesn't feel good. It's not supposed to. That's how you know you're not like them. Ross's lawyer sent a letter the next day, threatening to sue for emotional damages, claiming the stress of the lawsuit caused complications during delivery, demanding I drop all charges immediately. Samir called me laughing. They can't do this, he said. They forged documents. They committed fraud. You can't sue someone for holding you accountable for crimes you committed. So it's just a scare tactic. A bad one. If anything, this makes them look desperate. He paused. Mary, I have to ask. They're going to play the baby card hard. New mother, newborn, no place to go. Are you prepared for how this looks? They should have thought about that before they spent $40,000 on a car and photo shoots. I know, but optics, I don't care about optics anymore. I care about justice. Justice and revenge aren't the same thing. Maybe not, but right now, they feel close enough. That night, I went through my phone, deleted my mother's number, left the family group chat, blocked Kira and Ross on everything. Jake watched me from the kitchen doorway. Burning bridges? He asked. Burning bridges implies there was something worth crossing back to. I tossed my phone on the couch. There wasn't. There never was. He came over and wrapped his arms around me. I let myself lean into him, let myself feel the weight of what I was doing. I'm not a good person, I said into his chest. You're not a doormat. There's a difference. Is there? Yeah. Good people can set boundaries. Good people can say no. Good people can walk away from toxicity. He pulled back to look at me. You're not destroying them, Mary. They destroyed themselves. You're just refusing to go down with the ship. I wanted to believe him. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You're destroying a child's life before she's even named. I hope you can live with yourself. I showed it to Jake. Block it, he said. I did, but the word stayed with me long after the screen went dark. The house hit the market on a Wednesday. By Thursday, it was everywhere. Someone leaked the listing to a gossip forum, then Twitter, then TikTok. The Zillow photos went viral. The pristine kitchen, the nursery with its empty crib, the backyard where the gender reveal had happened. The caption that spread fastest: influencer's sister forcing sale of home days after baby born. Full story and comments. My work phone rang off the hook. Reporters, bloggers, someone from a podcast about family drama. I ignored them all, until one email stood out. Ms. Mary, my name is Rebecca. I'm a journalist with the Herald. I've been following your story, and I'd like to offer you the chance to tell your side. No ambush, no tricks, just the truth. Please consider it. I forwarded it to Samir. Don't do it, he said immediately. Anything you say can be twisted. They're already twisting everything. At least this way people hear from me. Mary, I'm doing the interview. Rebecca met me at a coffee shop downtown. She was younger than I expected, maybe 30, with kind eyes and a recorder she placed on the table between us. Thank you for meeting me, she said. I know this must be difficult. You have no idea. Walk me through it, from the beginning. So I did. The co-signing, the promises, the refinance, the forged signature, the $40,000 spent on luxury items while I made mortgage payments. Rebecca took notes, occasionally asking clarifying questions. Your sister claims this is about jealousy, she said, that you can't handle her happiness. My sister's good at playing victim. She's had 32 years of practice. That's harsh. It's honest. I met her eyes. I loved Kiara. I would have done anything for her. I did do everything for her. And she repaid me by stealing from me, lying about me, and trying to destroy my reputation when I finally said no. She has a newborn. I know, I'm not heartless, but having a baby doesn't erase fraud. It doesn't erase theft. And it doesn't mean I have to keep letting her use me. Rebecca nodded slowly. What do you want people to know? That boundaries aren't cruelty. That saying no to family doesn't make you a monster. That sometimes the people who hurt you most are the ones who share your blood. I paused. And that I'm done apologizing for refusing to be a doormat. The article published Saturday morning, fair, balanced. It included Ciara's side, but it also included the court documents, the forged signature, the spending records. The comments section exploded. Okay, I was Team Shira until I saw those bank statements. A Tesla? She forged her sister's signature, and people are mad at the sister? Make it make sense. This is why you never mix family and money. Both of them are wrong. The baby is the real victim here. My phone buzzed. Jake. Have you seen Ciara's Instagram? I opened it. Her latest post was a photo of her baby, face obscured, with a long caption. I never wanted it to come to this. I never wanted our private family matters to become public. But since my sister has chosen to air our struggles, I need to speak my truth. Yes, we made mistakes with paperwork. Yes, we accessed equity in our home. But we were always planning to make things right. We never expected Mary to respond with such cruelty, to force us out of our home while I recover from childbirth, to traumatize our newborn daughter. I'm sharing this because I want people to understand money isn't everything. Family should be. But some people care more about being right than being kind. Pray for us. The comments were vicious. Your sister is evil. Sue her for everything. That baby deserves better than an aunt like that. But mixed in were others. Girl, you forged her signature. That's a crime. Our home that she co-signed for? Interesting. Why didn't you refinance like you promised? Ciara commented. Maybe tell them about the Malibu photo shoot you spent the nursery money on. Or is that not part of your truth? Ciara deleted the comment within minutes, but screenshots were already circulating. That afternoon, the sponsorship deal started falling apart. A baby brand dropped Ciara, then a clothing company, then a wellness tea that had been her biggest partnership. Ross called me. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. You're destroying us. Our income is gone. We can't afford rent anywhere. You're making our daughter homeless. Is this what you wanted? Are you happy now? I saved the voicemail. Sent it to Samir. He's trying to guilt you, Samir said. Don't fall for it. I'm not. But Jake asked me something earlier. What? If this is justice or just pain redistributed? Samir was quiet for a moment. Does it matter? I don't know. Maybe it should. Mary, listen to me. You didn't create this situation. They did. You're not responsible for the consequences of their choices. Then why does it feel like I am? Because you're a good person, and good people feel guilty even when they shouldn't. He paused. But feeling guilty doesn't mean you're wrong. Jake found me that night on my balcony, staring at the city lights. Talk to me, he said. I thought this would feel better, taking control, standing up for myself, but it just feels empty. Revenge usually does. Is that what this is? Revenge? I don't know. Is it? I thought about Kira's face at the family dinner, Ross's desperate voicemail, the baby who never asked to be born into this mess. I wanted them to understand what they did to me, I said. I wanted them to feel what I felt. And do they? I don't know. I don't think they're capable of it. Jake pulled me close. Then maybe this isn't about them anymore. Maybe it's about you deciding what you're worth. What am I worth? More than they ever gave you credit for. My phone buzzed. Another unknown number, another message. I turned it off without looking. The house sold in 3 weeks. Below market value because of the drama, but enough to clear the mortgage and give me back most of what I was owed. Samir called with the closing date. 2 weeks. They need to be out by the 15th. And if they're not, Sheriff's Department handles the eviction. It won't come to that. You'd be surprised what people do when they're desperate. I drove by the house once. Just once. I don't know why. A moving truck sat in the driveway. Ross carried boxes while Kiara sat on the porch steps, the baby in her arms, scrolling through her phone. She looked thin, exhausted, nothing like the glowing influencer from her photos. She looked up. Our eyes met. I drove away. The final confrontation happened at the title company. Neutral ground, lawyers present. Ciara arrived in leggings and an oversized sweatshirt, her hair in a messy bun. No makeup. The baby strapped to her chest in a carrier. Ross walked beside her, his jaw tight. We sat on opposite sides of the table, signed papers in silence, until Ciara spoke. I hope you're proud of yourself. I didn't look up. Sign the documents, Kara. You ruined our lives. You took our home. You destroyed my career. You made our daughter homeless. Her voice cracked. All because you couldn't stand seeing me happy. I set down my pen, looked at her directly. You did this, not me. We made one mistake. You made dozens of mistakes. You forged my signature. You stole $40,000. You spent money meant for your daughter on photo shoots and cars. You lied to me, used me, and then tried to destroy my reputation when I finally said no. I kept my voice level. You ruined your own life, Kara. I just stopped letting you ruin mine. We're family. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't treat people like ATMs and then act shocked when the money runs out. Ross leaned forward. We were going to pay you back. When? After you spent it all? After you refinanced again without telling me? After you bought another Tesla? I slid the final document across the table. Sign it. Move on. Build your life without using mine as the foundation. Kiara's tears were real now. Ugly crying. The baby started to fuss. We have nowhere to go, she whispered. Mom won't take us in. We can't afford rent anywhere decent. We're going to end up in some apartment in a bad neighborhood because of you. No, because of you. Because you chose Instagram likes over financial stability. Because you chose appearances over honesty. Because you chose to steal from the one person who always helped you. I'm your sister. You were my sister. Past tense. I stood up. Sign the papers, Kara, or don't. Either way, this is over. She signed, shaking, sobbing. But she signed. Ross signed too, his face red with barely contained rage. You know what? He said, as I gathered my things. You're going to end up alone, bitter and alone. And when you're old and dying, you'll realize that being right wasn't worth losing your family. I paused at the door, turned back. I already lost my family. Years ago. I just finally stopped pretending I hadn't. Outside, Jake waited in his car. Jake waited hints. I slid into the passenger seat and closed my eyes. Done? He asked. Done. How do you feel? Empty? Relieved? Guilty? Angry? All of it at once. He took my hand. That's normal. Is it? You just cut off your sister, your mom, most of your family. That's not supposed to feel good. Then why did I do it? Because staying would have felt worse. We sat in silence for a moment. Ross tried one last manipulation, I said. Suggested we work something out. Like I'd magically forget everything and hand them money. What did you say? That I already worked something out. It's called escrow. Jake laughed. Actually laughed. That's cold. Good. I'm done being warm to people who treat me like a space heater. My phone buzzed, a voicemail from my mother. I almost deleted it without listening. But something made me press play. Her voice was cold, clipped. You got what you wanted, Mary. Your sister is homeless. Your niece is living in a one-bedroom apartment in a neighborhood with bars on the windows. Ross had to sell his car. Ciara's career is destroyed. Happy now? I hope it was worth it. Because you're dead to me. Don't call. Don't visit. Don't show up at holidays. You made your choice. Live with it. The message ended. Jake looked at me. Mary, take me home, I said. Please, just take me home. He drove. I stared out the window at the city passing by, at the life I'd built, the life I'd fought for, the life that suddenly felt very, very quiet. That night, I stood in my condo, my beautiful, paid-off, perfectly decorated condo. Everything in its place, everything clean, everything mine. And I never felt more alone in my life. Jake came up behind me, wrapped his arms around my waist. You did the right thing, he whispered. Did I? Yes. Then why does it hurt so much? Because you love them, and they didn't love you back. Not the way you deserved. I turned in his arms, let myself cry, really cry, for the family I'd lost, for the sister I'd never really had, for the mother who'd chosen favorites and destroyed both her daughters in different ways. It's over, Jake said. It's finally over. He was right. But over didn't feel like victory. It just felt like ending. The job offer came from a firm in Seattle. Better position, better pay, 1,000 miles from everything that had happened. Take it, Jake said when I showed him the email. Fresh start. What about you? I'm coming with you, if you'll have me. I looked at him, really looked at him, the man who'd stood by me through all of it, who'd never once told me to back down or be the bigger person, who'd seen me at my worst and stayed anyway. Yeah, I said, I'll have you. We gave notice the next week. Packing up my condo felt like shedding skin. Each box was a piece of the life I'd built alone, the life I'd defended, the life that was finally completely mine. Aunt Helen came by to say goodbye. She brought coffee and sat on my couch while I wrapped dishes. Your mother asked about you yesterday, she said. What did you tell her? That you're moving, that you're happy, that she made her choice and now she has to live with it. How did she take it? About as well as you'd expect. Lots of talk about ungrateful daughters and family loyalty. Helen sipped her coffee. She's miserable, Mary. Sarah calls her constantly, complaining about money. Ross is working 2 jobs and still can't make ends meet. The baby cries all night. It's everything Denise wanted for Kara, and it's making her absolutely miserable. Good. Is it? I stopped packing. You think I should feel bad? I think you're allowed to feel however you feel, but I also think holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. That's fair. She set down her coffee. Your father used to say that the hardest part of being an adult is realizing your parents are just people. Flawed people who make mistakes. Mom didn't make a mistake. She made a choice. She chose Kira over me every single time. I know. And that's on her, not you. Helen stood and hugged me. Be happy, sweetheart. That's the best revenge there is. Sierra showed up the day before the move. She had her driver's license now, a beat-up Honda, and a determination I recognized. I'm not here to guilt-trip you, she said. I'm here to say thank you. For what? For showing me what boundaries look like, for proving that you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. She handed me an envelope. I got into college, full ride. I'm leaving too. Sierra, that's amazing. I learned from the best. She smiled. Sierra called me last week, asked if I could lend her money. I said no. She called me selfish. I said I learned from my aunt. I laughed. Actually laughed. What did she say? Nothing. She hung up, but Mary? It felt good. Saying no felt really, really good. It gets easier. Does it? Yeah. Eventually you stop feeling guilty for having boundaries. You start feeling guilty for not having them sooner. She hugged me tight. Don't be a stranger, okay? Text me. Call me. Let me know you're happy. I will. Promise? Promise. The moving truck left on a Tuesday. Jake and I followed in my car, the dog we'd adopted last month sleeping in the back seat. Somewhere in Oregon, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I almost didn't open it, but curiosity won. This is Tiara. I know you blocked me. I'm using a friend's phone. I just wanted to say, you were right about everything. We were using you. I was using you, and I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I needed you to know. I'm sorry. I stared at the message for a long time. Jake glanced over. Everything okay? Shara apologized. Wow, what are you going to do? I thought about it. About the years of hurt, the betrayal, the public humiliation, the family I'd lost. Then I thought about the life I was driving toward, the man beside me, the dog in the back seat, the job waiting for me, the home we'd build together. I deleted the message. Nothing, I said. I'm going to do nothing. You sure? Yeah. She doesn't get closure. She doesn't get absolution. She gets to live with what she did, just like I had to live with what she did to me. Jake reached over and squeezed my hand. That's fair. Is it? I think so. Some apologies come too late. Some bridges burn too hot to rebuild. We stopped for lunch at a diner with red vinyl booths and waitresses who called everyone Hawn, the kind of place that felt like it existed outside of time. You okay? Jake asked over burgers and fries. I think so. I didn't need to destroy their home. They did that the first time they devalued me. I just handed them the mirror. And now? Now I'm building my own home. No smoke, no mirrors, no apologies. He smiled. I like the sound of that. Me too. My phone buzzed again. Sierra this time. You taught me that family is how people treat you, not who you're born to. Thank you for being brave enough to walk away. I hope Seattle is everything you deserve. I showed Jake the message. She's a good kid, he said. She is. She's going to be okay. So are you. Yeah, I said, looking out at the highway stretching ahead. I really think I am. We finished lunch, got back in the car, drove toward a city I'd never seen, toward a life I'd chosen, toward a future that was finally completely mine. And somewhere behind me, in a city I'd never returned to, my family was learning what it cost to lose someone who'd always been there. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. I was already home.